Level. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause. Mr. Devin Haney.
Good night, Eddie. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Luke. Good night. Thank you, Luke. Devin. Yes.
Champ is here.
Bill, come up here.
Champ is here.
Bill.
Champ is here.
Champ is here. Love you, Devin. Love you, Devin.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, guys, the main man is here, WBC interim world champion. I'm going to come over here because I feel a bit sad over it. Questions for the champ, guys?
Devin, could you rate your performance from 0 to 10 in your opinion?
I would have to go back and really watch the fight, but I feel like I put a great performance on. I really was just warming up. I didn't get a chance to really let my hands go like I wanted to. Like I said, I was just warming up. I started to let my hands go, and then the fight was stopped.
Were you planning to heat up in the 5th, 6th, 7th round? Because you started using the jab, controlling the distance. It seemed like, as you said earlier, you didn't leave first gear.
Yeah, coming in the fight, my dad told me just to go in there, use my jab, stay relaxed, let everything come, and that's what I did. I went in there, I started working the body, I started warming up, I started, catching his rhythm, seeing what he was doing, and then the fight was pretty much stopped.
Devin, this was tipped to be one of your hardest sort of opponents today. Do you like that in there?
Abdullaev, he is a tough opponent. I just went in there, I put on a great performance, and I made him look easy, but if he fought anyone else, he might be a tough fight for them. He was undefeated. He was the number 2 contender. He was the WBC silver champion, and on paper, he was supposed to be my hardest opponent. So I went in there, I trained very hard for this fight. I sacrificed a lot. I had a good training camp, and I went in there and I made the fight look easy. But for anybody else, who knows if he would give them a test or not.
You said maybe his cheek was broken. Do you know what you caught him with?
It looked like it was a right hook that I caught him with, but like I said, I really don't know. I started hitting him with some good shots. I hit him with some good uppercuts, some good right hooks, some good jabs. So I really don't know what shot did it, but I hit him with a jab and his nose just started leaking. So I don't really know what shot it was.
The doctors said they think it was the nose and the cheekbone, both broken.
Hey Devin, we spoke about your last knockout and you got a stoppage here. Which one did you like better? There's 2 different type of knockouts or stoppages. Could you pick which one you preferred?
On paper, Abdullaev was, a much tougher opponent. A lot of people were saying that this was going to be a real test. He was going to go in there and make it a dog fight. And he was a very hard puncher. So this performance means more. Of course, the knockout was sensational. It was a viral knockout. But this fight meant a lot more.
Now, Eddie and Devin, obviously the fight now being over, everything seems to check out on the medical side at least, from what it seems. Are we going to see Devin back November the 9th in Los Angeles?
Yeah, that's the plan. We're going to talk to Bill and Devin. Obviously, in the ring after the adrenaline's going, and they both said 100%, let's go for that. The slot's there for him. I think he's the absolute perfect audience for Devin Haney. Millions of young people watching around the world. I think if you're going to bring someone into the sport of boxing, what Lou said, I don't think these people necessarily will stick to boxing. Well, they won't if they don't see something that makes them go wow. Luckily, we've got something that makes you go wow, and that's Devin Haney. So with these millions of young people watching around the world, if they witness Devin Haney, they're going to be a fan and they're going to stick. So if Bill and Devin say tomorrow, Monday, tonight, November 9, it's 8 weeks tonight, perfect. Can have a little rest for a few days, and then I think that would be the perfect platform, sold out Staples Center.
I got a question for Eddie. Eddie, is the press conference tomorrow? Or is it?
Yeah.
You think I can get the first flight out to the press conference out there in LA?
You want to do that?
Yeah, I think
you
so.
Sure?
I think so.
You too?
I'm ready for November 9th. I went in there, I didn't take, hardly any punishment. Of course, I had a hard training camp, so of course I want to take a few days off, but I want to get back in the ring as soon as possible.
Now I know you haven't been on your phone, you've been taking care of other things, but Logan Paul actually mentioned Eddie Hearn and requested for you to be on that undercard. He said, Eddie, could we make this happen? So
well, he's a big fan. He was watching tonight, and you know, there's been a lot of chat from, like I said, from the internet saying, oh, you know, it's an insult a fighter going on the undercard of fight. Like, you know, it's 20,000 people at Staples Center. It's millions of people watching around the world. That's called a global platform to showcase your talent.
Devin, speaking of a global platform to showcase your talent, is there any style of opponent or a specific opponent that you'd want to showcase what you're made out of on the undercard of Logan Paul?
That's really up to my team. You know, I'm willing to fight whoever, and I've been saying this for a long time. Whoever they put in front of me, you know, I'll beat. You know, I'm able to adjust to anybody. I feel like I'm one of the best fighters in the world, and I'm willing to showcase my skills against whoever they put in front of me.
You just headlined the past video. Jeff so fight the crowd to be on the undercard of that, or is it not?
Say it again.
Jeff so fight the crowd to be on the undercard against.
No, they have a big following, and like you said, I just headline here. I'm going on their card, and I'm happy to be on the card. Like I said, it's good for boxing, and it's gonna bring a lot more fans, to Devin Haney and to boxing period.
Congratulations on
Thank you.
On the great win tonight. Your poise in your ring is unbelievable. It shows that it's showing that you're a lot older than only 20. But talk about your dad and what he means to you in your professional career. What he brings to the table in boxing.
My dad means so much. He means everything to my career. My dad was the first person, who brought me to the gym. He taught me how to throw my first jab before I was even boxing. He taught me how to put my hands up, and just protect myself. So my dad means a lot. Without my dad, I wouldn't be here. My dad, he came up, really with the game plan to go in there in the ring tonight, and I just went in there and executed it. Like I said, without my dad, I wouldn't be where I'm at. And I'm thankful for him, and I appreciate him. He doesn't get a lot of attention because people they try to say oh this trainer, but really my dad is behind the science behind Devin Haney.
Trainer of the year.
You had that last fight against Antonio Moran at the MGM over in the Washington D.C. area, and now here in the MGM, the MSG. What do you think that you worked on from those past two fights? And I would say over the past couple of years that makes you seem so patient in the ring and being able to be real focused when you're going up against your opponent.
I've been saying this now. I'm only getting better. And that's why I keep saying those guys, but they better fight me now because as time go on, I'm only gonna get better. So it's only gonna get worse for them. I train hard in the gym. Like I said, I sacrifice. I work on many different things, and I'm a student of the game. So every fight I'm gonna get better.
Now, I see you're here at 135. How long will it be until you start to move up to 140, 147?
My weight cut went actually really good for this fight. I felt great. I'll stay at 135, if I can get a big fight, but I'm not gonna stay here, forever. I'm not gonna stay here, too long, but I'm willing to stay here for, a little bit longer, because I want to get a title at 135 and then move up. I don't want to, miss the 135 division, without getting a title. I want to be a multi-division world champion. So, it starts at 135.
Gotcha. Why not go after the mandatory?
There's a few people here that feel like you're too green for Lomachenko. I personally feel like that you would defeat Lomachenko. What do you see in Vasyl Lomachenko? I believe I see what you see in Lomachenko, that you could defeat him. But there's some people that here tonight that think you're too green to defeat Lomachenko.
Yeah, well, Lomachenko is a great fighter. I take nothing away from him. And that's exactly why I want to fight him, because he's a great fighter. And no disrespect to any of his other opponents, but it was obviously too green for him too. So if I'm too green, let me just go on the list with all the other green fighters that he fought.
That's right
Everybody's the dream.
I've got a question for Bill. How would you assess Devin's performance tonight? And a second part to that question, do you feel like he's ready for something like Lomachenko, considering his average of 3.5 weight on the pro ranks?
I mean, every fight, Devin is getting better and better, and like he keeps reiterating, it's only going to get worse. I think he did great with this fight. I mean, we expected him to go in and use his jab and break him down. You know, kind of like the Floyd thing. You know, everyone saw the last fight and saw the knockout, and he kind of like was thinking about his right hand. But all through camp, I stressed that his jab, he has the best jab in the business, and he went out and he broke him down with his jab, and he set up the right hand.
Thank you.
Mandatory fight against Lomachenko. If you take a fight in November, won't that allow Lomachenko to take a fight before the unification match?
Well, Lomachenko is already going to fight the unification match. That's pretty much set in stone. There's nothing we really can do about that. So I'm not going to just sit around and wait for Lomachenko. Of course, I want to stay busy. So I'm going to defend my interim world title, and we'll see what happens.
Eddie. This is for your dad. I know you'll fight just about anybody. You'll fight with Lomachenko. You'll fight Canelo if you wanted to. But would you rather see your son fight somebody like a Luke Campbell, Gomez, a couple guys that are up there in the rankings before he just jumped right into Lomachenko, or do you just want him to fight Lomachenko off the bat if you had your?
Well, I mean, we wanted to fight originally Luke Campbell for the title, and that was what we went into it with Eddie in hopes that we could have made that fight happen. I think he's had 5 fights on television now, and I think they've been flawless performances. As far as Lomachenko, I don't see anyone on Lomachenko's list that Devin couldn't handle as well. I don't see it as being a problem. So I mean, of course, we want Lomachenko. He wants to make the biggest fights and the best fights, and part of the reason I'm guessing is going with Eddie as well is because he makes the best fights, and I think he's going to make the fight with Lomachenko sooner or later.
One thing that I can say is, if I'm just so easy, if I'm so green, if I'm not ready, why not just fight me and beat me, get me out the way? If I saw somebody and it was just an easy payday and it was just something, I would fight him too. So why not just fight me and get me out the way? I'm talking a lot, I'm making a lot of buzz, I'm calling his name every single day. I DM'd him on Instagram, he didn't respond. Why not just get me out the way?
You're a beast! You're a beast! Can't beat the devil. Lomachenko can't beat the devil.
Oh, well, before he starts getting too expensive, I'd love to get him to the UK. Actually, after the fight, I went on social media. He was trending #1 in the UK, which basically, obviously, it was live on Sky Sports tonight. There's a lot of people staying up to watch it. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, and every boxing fan in the UK is staying up to watch it. Now, I'd even like to take him to Saudi Arabia and box on the Joshua fight. I mean, there's so many things that I want to do. And part of the plan is to box him all over America as well. We've done Washington now, we've done New York, now we do LA, but there's also the UK, there's the Middle East, there's Asia. When you talk about building a global star, this is what I keep saying about Saudi Arabia. People moan about Saudi Arabia. It's another world out there. America's a great country, so is Britain. But it's a big place. And the people of the Middle East, the people of the Far East, the people in Asia, everyone can be a Devin Haney fan. So I feel like if you're selling boxing, this is the person that you want to showcase the sport. Yeah! What time is it? What do we need?
Lomachenko. Need Lomachenko. Beat up Lomachenko.
That's Lomachenko. A name out there, like you're not mentioning, is Mike Garcia. I heard, Eddie Hearn, possibly, Mike joining the zone. Why not Mike Garcia? Loma doesn't want to face him. 135, 40.
I don't think you see Garcia at 35 again, but 40 maybe. I mean, all these fights.
I'm asking Haney. Hey, what do you think? What do you think? I mean, no, I'm saying, Mike
that?
Yeah, like.
What did you want, Mikey? What was
like
that?
Eddie said, I really don't know what weight class he's gonna fight.
Easy pick.
I heard that he was coming back at 147, but like I said, I can say this, over and over and over again. I'm not turning down no smoke. I'm willing to fight the best fighters. I'm willing to fight everybody. I want to showcase my skills, and I'm ready for whoever.
He was campaigning while Mikey Garcia was champ. We were campaigning in the WBC. He was one of the guys that was on the list as well. So, Mikey.
But like even at 140, the matchups, which is like Devin against Jose Ramirez.
They're all there. They're all there.
Great
You got
fight.
Tank,
Jose against the winner of Progress against Taylor. Devin against the winner of Progress against Taylor.
Tank moved up.
Great fight. Javonte Davis. I mean, they've got history. They won that fight bad. The future. I mean, again, 20. Like all this ahead of him. I said to him tonight, the world is your oyster. It really is.
Tank is coming into the division, bringing a lot of noise. Are you gonna fight Tank down the road? Is that a fight that you would like to have if you don't get Lomachenko?
Yes. Of course, that's a big fight for me. I would love that fight. Like I said, I could keep saying this over and over and over again.
All the smoke.
Anybody can get it. A relationship with Floyd Mayweather, Tank is a Floyd Mayweather fighter. Have you guys ever had a conversation about you fighting Tank, and what does he say to you about that?
No, we never had a conversation about that. Floyd's a smart guy, you know that, right?
Hey Devin, let's talk about also you being your promoter as well. I mean, you're a boxer, but also the DHP right behind you. You had some promotion going on. What's that experience like, having that on DAZN and being a fighter/promoter?
It's great. My fighter Darren Cunningham, he bought on the card. He's somewhere around here, but he went there. He got the rounds in, and I'm happy for him. And he's gonna need to start. As I get bigger, my company is only gonna get bigger, and I'm just happy with the way everything is going.
That's right.
Speaking of fighting, would you like to showcase your talents in the Bay Area?
The Bay Area.
Oh, of course. I would love to go back home and fight. That would be crazy. That'd be lit. That's a dream come true. We were looking to fight there. For this fight.
Now we know that you had back and forth with Robert Easter. Is that a fight that you pursued?
No. I remember the time where I wanted to fight Robert Easter, and he was acting like I didn't exist, and he was dissing me, saying, "Who am I?" and nobody knew me. So, guess what? Who is that? I don't even know him.
Alright guys, we have two more.
Dev, another fight that you've had before in the amateurs is Ryan Garcia. He was supposed to fight tomorrow, fell out.
He'll fly over there now. He can fight him tomorrow night.
No, yeah, you're exactly right.
Phone Golden Boy.
Yeah, I don't know.
We got the opponent.
Let's go. I'm ready. Show me the money.
But is that a fight that realistically you would want? Because I mean, you'd have to think the way you're looking that they'd be ducking that fight, right? I mean, you guys have fought already in the amateurs. Is that a fight that you're gonna be looking for?
I don't know if they ducking the fight or not. I seen Oscar did an interview. I want to say yesterday or the day before, saying how he was gonna watch my fight, and that was a fight that they wanted to make happen. So yeah, of course, I think that can be a big fight one day, and we can make it happen. A lot of people are interested in that fight, and one day that fight will happen. As long as he keeps winning. No shade though, no shade.
Respect, I like that. Respect.
Right, guys, wouldn't be the same without your support. Thank you so much for coming tonight and supporting Devin Haney. Thank you very much.